What's up, guys? Mystic Mike MMA here, and we are back for UFC 314 in Miami. We have a stacked card ahead of us. This is a proper UFC card. We haven't had something like this in a long time. We have five underdogs for you today. I'm going to give you my best bets, predictions of each and every single fight on the card. We have a very good video planned for you guys, so I hope you stay tuned and enjoy. As always, the timestamps will be in the description below, so if you want to skip through them and if you want to check up on a certain fight that you have your eyes on, go and do so. Feel free. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. Let's get right into the video. All right, so first fight of the night, we got Nora Cornolle versus Hailey Cowan. Nora Cornolle is a French Muay Thai champion, very good striker, and her only two losses come to Jacqueline Calvacanti. She's fighting Hailey Cowan, who's a former gymnast, very physical fighter, very scrappy. She's going to rely on her wrestling and cage wrestling to win the fight. All of her Dana White Contender Series and UFC fights have gone the distance. So we'll see what that means. For my official prediction, we're going with Nora Cornolle by decision. I think she's going to be able to maintain the distance properly. Her opponent isn't very good, in my opinion, and Nora's just better overall. So if you guys want to tail this pick, I would take Nora Cornolle decision for plus 130, decent odds. But if you guys are betting, we have a lot more bets that are way better on this fight, on this card. So stay tuned for that. Next fight, we have Tresean Gore versus Marco Tulio. Tresean Gore is a big underdog here, and Marco Tulio is coming off a pretty big win. He just knocked out Ihor Potieria in the first round, which is pretty hard to do. Not many people can make it look as easy as he did. But Tresean Gore is coming off two back-to-back submission guillotine wins. He has not too much experience. I mean, I think he only has 7 professional MMA fights. But he was a tough season 29 finalist, and he ended up not competing in the finals because of an injury, I believe. So now we go to Marco Tulio. He's a great fighter. He just came off the Dana White Contender Series, and now it's going to be his second fight in the UFC. He has a 69% KO ratio, and I wrote he's dating Norma Dumont. You know, kind of made it in life if he's dating Norma Dumont. So we'll see what happens there. But this is a classic striker versus grappler matchup. And also, Tresean Gore, he just came back recently. I think his last fight was about 4 months ago. But before that, he was on a 2-year hiatus. So who knows? Maybe he's been battling injuries, and we'll see what happens. For my official prediction, we're going with Marco Tulio by KO in round 1. So if you want to just take the KO prop, plus 105, very good odds. I believe his path to victory is to get a KO, and he most likely will get the KO in round 1. Most of his KOs come in round 1. I think like mostly all of them come in round 1. If you guys want to take away from it, you could do under 1.5 rounds, but KO round 1 pays plus 300, so it's pretty good odds, and I think he will get the KO in round 1. And if he doesn't get it in round 1, he will probably get the KO because that's his path to victory. All right, next, Sumudaerji versus Mitch Raposo. Mitch Raposo, this is his second UFC stint, and Sumudaerji, I mean, he's on a 3-fight losing streak now. If you guys don't remember Sumudaerji, this is the guy who was trying to KO Machnell. He couldn't knock him out, and he ended up getting TKO'd himself. Guys, Machnell, if you guys don't know this, the guy could get KO'd by a gust of wind. Machnell is just always getting KO'd now, and Sumudaerji couldn't do it. So that shows a lot that he doesn't really have too much power in his hands, but he does have a 7.5-inch reach advantage, and he's fighting Mitch Raposo, who's one of the smallest flyweights in the division right now. He lost his Dana White Contender Series debut, and he lost his UFC debut. Listen, I think Mitch Raposo is right now fighting for his career, and so is Sumudaerji. So it's do or die for both of these guys. And like I said before, Sumudaerji's on a 3-fight losing streak, and whoever's on a 3-fight losing streak historically has a 30% chance to win the 4th fight. So it's not looking good for either of these guys. Overall, I am leaning towards Sumudaerji to get the job done by decision. Like I said, I don't think Sumudaerji is going to be knocking anyone out ever. So I don't think he's going to knock out Mitch Raposo, but I do think overall he's more well-rounded and just a better fighter than Mitch Raposo, so I think Sumudaerji could get the job done and get a decision win this Saturday. Next, we actually have a pretty exciting matchup in Sedriques Dumas versus Michał Oleksiejczuk. So Michał is a minus 200 favorite, and honestly, he's on a 3-fight losing streak, and he's still minus 200 favorite. 2 of those 3 losses come by submission in round 1. He has a pretty bad submission defense, but he has a lot of UFC fights, a lot of UFC experience. A lot of his wins come by KO, 74%. He's fighting Sedriques Dumas, who's usually a pretty athletic guy. He has a 5-inch reach advantage, and he has a pretty good guillotine. He's good at mixing it up. He's pretty well rounded. I think this is gonna be a good fight. Sedriques Dumas, though, the only thing that scares me is he's very tall when he fights. He fights like a little bit like a shitty Pereira kind of. He fights very tall, and maybe that could be a problem if Michał Oleksiejczuk could get in close and close the distance. You could catch him with like a looping punch, a couple hooks. He puts those hooks together very well. He mixes it up to the body, then to the head. So yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. Overall, I think Michał Oleksiejczuk gets the job done. I think he KOs Sedriques Dumas in round 3, specifically round 3 because Sedriques, he starts to slow down. Like I said, he's a fast starter and he slows down later on into the fight. If Sedriques can't get him with a submission or a KO in the first or second round, I think Michał's going to take over, and overall, I think he's going to KO him later on in the fight. If you guys want to take the round 3 prop at plus 900, it's pretty good, honestly. I think it's going to pay really well, and I think Michał honestly has a pretty good shot of winning this one. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, he gets it done. Now we have a guaranteed banger in Darren Elkins versus Julian Erosa. This fight is going to be crazy. Darren Elkins is nicknamed The Damage because he takes so much damage and wears it pretty well, but I mean, he gets cut a lot, so that might be a factor in this fight, but I think the guy's absorbed like over 1,300 significant strikes in his UFC career. It's crazy. He's a very grindy wrestler. He has a lot of heart. He doesn't give up. He has pretty good cardio. Not really something you want to face when you're his opponent. Anyways, but Julian Erosa, Juicy J, I mean, he's a very well-rounded fighter. He's good at finishing the fight anywhere. He has a lot of submission and KO wins. His takedown defense is not the best. 56% takedown defense, especially when you're fighting Darren Elkins. Darren Elkins is known for decent wrestling, but Julian Erosa is dangerous everywhere. Even when he gets taken down, he has submissions off his back. He's 5 years younger than Darren Elkins. Guys, this is going to be a scrap. Don't take your eyes off the screen for this one. My official prediction for this fight will be Juicy J moneyline. So, like I said, Julian Erosa, he's very well-rounded. He gets finishes. He gets decisions. But against someone like Darren Elkins, you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if he's going to cut him up and Doctor's going to stop it. You don't know if he's going to submit him when Darren Elkins shoots for a takedown and gets caught in a guillotine or something like that. So we're going to take him moneyline. I know it's not too exciting at minus 334, but if you guys want to mix it up with over 1.5, I don't see this fight ending in the first or second round. I do see maybe the Doctor stepping in at the beginning of the third round, but I think Julian Erosa is going to win this fight, and I think it goes over 1.5 rounds. So if you guys want to pair it up together, minus 105, it's a decent parlay prop. It's even a decent straight bet. Overall, I think Julian Erosa should get this done. One of my more confident picks of the night. Now we have Jim Miller versus Chase Hooper. I have some crazy statistics for you guys, so stay tuned. Watch this. So Chase Hooper, 16 years younger than Jim Miller. I mean, most of his fights, he ends up being the younger fighter, and the UFC seems to be feeding him feeding a lot of older guys to Chase Hooper, I guess, to build up his resume. But yeah, Chase Hooper, 16 years younger. So people with a more than 10-year age gap usually have around a 60% chance of winning. So boom, that increases his odds of winning. Secondly, Hooper accounted for 40% of all lightweight submissions in 2024. So 2 out of 5. And guess what? Jim Miller, he has the other one. So together, they're 3 out of 5 of all lightweight submissions in 2024. It's pretty funny. Anyways, he also has the height and reach advantage, so he has a big advantage there, which kind of justifies the minus 900 favorite. Wait, I'm not done. So Jim Miller, this is 42nd UFC fight. This is insane to have 42 UFC fights. That's crazy, ludicrous. He also, in 2024, no lightweight over 40 years old has won a fight. Jim Miller did win a fight in 2024, but he was 39 turning 40. He was 40 turning 41. Now he's 41. So no lightweight over 40 has won a fight in 2024. Let's see if Jim Miller could turn back the clock and change that statistic. Also, Chase Hooper, his method of victory for this fight will be by submission. Jim Miller has not been subbed in 13 years. So there's just a massive question mark on this fight. It's very interesting. I'm very, very excited to see what's going to happen. And you guessed it, my official prediction is Chase Hooper to win this fight by sub. So, guys, Chase Hooper, his jiu-jitsu is just way too good. I bet him to win in round one sub against Clay Guida, and I'm gonna be betting the same thing again. It's plus 300. If you bet Chase Hooper to win round one submission, plus 300. I know Jim Miller hasn't been subbed in 13 years, but I mean, like I said, the guy's 41, 42 UFC fights, got to do a lot of damage to you. Um, I think Chase Hooper's jiu-jitsu is just way too good. He's faster, he's younger, he's bigger, he's going to impose his strength, he's going to take the back and get a choke, or he's going to armbar him in round one. So let's see it happen. Plus 300, pretty good odds, honestly. He's a minus 900 favorite. So if you can find any play to play him at plus 300, this is the one. Now, this is when we start with the underdogs. We got a lot more underdogs coming, trust me. Virna Jandiroba versus Xiaonan. Listen, Virna, she hasn't lost since 2021. She's a very good grappler, but she has zero KO power. Like on draft topology, the community picks like 1% of people are predicting her to get a KO in this fight. Yan Shonan, on the other hand, just went 5 rounds with Zhang Weili in a pretty competitive fight. She has really good cardio, really crisp boxing. Honestly, she's an overall very good fighter. And Weili couldn't submit her. I mean, she held her down in some places, but she couldn't submit her. So she has 3 rounds to work with here. Let's go into my prediction. So, like I said, we're going with the underdog here. Yan Xiaonan by decision, plus 200 play. It's a pretty good play, honestly. I think she's going to get the job done. It's only a 3 round fight, so all she has to do to win is not get taken down, which could be hard against Virna. But I think with her boxing, if she lands some good uppercuts, Virna's going to be a little bit scared. If she can maintain the distance, keep her jab going, I think she's going to be able to win this fight by decision. Next, we have Dan Ige taking on Slender Man Sean Woodson. This guy is so big, man. It's crazy. It makes sense. I mean, he fought heavyweight at boxing. When he was a boxer, he was fighting at heavyweight. And now he's a rising prospect. He's four wins, 1 draw, I believe. He has a lot of good momentum, and he's going to face probably his toughest challenge yet in Dan Ige. Dan Ige used to being the smaller guy. He has retarded power at 145, but his wins haven't been aging too well. I mean, he knocked out Andre Fili. Andre Fili went on to lose by submission to that guy, like, I forgot his name, Michał something. Um, Anyways, uh, he usually overcomes the reach advantage. He's used to being the smaller guy. I think I mean, like I said, Sean Woodson's really big. If Sean Woodson imposes his length on Danige is going to have some trouble. But Danige really impressed me in his fight against Diego Lopez. Took Diego to a decision and made it really tough for Diego. I know it was short notice fight, but it was short notice fight for both of them. I mean, Danige wasn't expecting to fight that day. He was literally just chilling at home, and he came in, weighed in, and gave it to Diego. Fuck, man, he really gave it to him. I was really impressed by that fight. So here's the other underdog. We're going with Danige by KO, and we're going to go over 1.5 rounds. I think the first round is going to be a really big feeling out process. Danige is going to try to look for openings where he can close the distance and get through. I think in the second or third round, I really believe Danige is going to knock this guy out. Sean Woodson has never been knocked out in his career, but I think if Danige could catch him, he's gonna crack that chin. He's gonna put him out cold. Now we have Nikita Krylov versus Dominick Reyes. So, guys, this guy, Nikita Krylov, I don't know if you guys know the lore on this guy. For the longest time, people thought he was dead. No one knew where he was. He's Ukrainian, so they thought he got lost in the war or something. Like, no one knew where he was. No one knew what was happening. He disappeared. Everyone's like, bro, is this guy dead? Like, people were asking to take him off the rankings because, like, we actually thought he was dead. He's back. He's alive somehow. We don't know if this is like a robot or something, a clone of Nikita Krylov, but maybe a Russian spy. He might have got captured by Russia and turned into a spy and got sent to the U.S. Never know. But anyways, he hasn't fought in 25 months, and he has a 93% finish rate, which is kind of crazy. I think, he had 2 stints in the UFC. So he was in the UFC for a while. He got kicked out off of 1 fight. Like, he got 1 loss, like a guillotine loss. He got taken out. I don't know if he left voluntarily or not. But now he's back. He's on a pretty good run. He's on a win streak, but like I said, he hasn't fought in 25 months, and he's fighting Dominick Reyes. Dominick Reyes has a lot of experience. Arguably beat John Jones. Arguably should have been the light heavyweight champ. 64% of wins by KO, and a very good takedown defense. 82% takedown defense. Now I write questionable chin because before his two fight winning streak, now he was on a 3-fight losing streak, and I think they were all KOs too, like pretty bad ones. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens in this fight, but he has a very questionable chin, and yeah, plus 155, minus 185. It's a pretty close fight. Overall, we're going to go with the more active fighter in Dominick Reyes. I think it's going to be another classic Dominick Reyes KO. I think he's back. He just got another KO against Anthony Smith. I know Anthony Smith is like mentally unstable, and his friend like committed suicide the same day that he fought. So he was saying some weird shit in the octagon. He was like, hit me. It was honestly really sad to watch. But he looked good in that fight, and he looked good in the fight before, so we're going to take him again by KO to beat the inactive Russian spy. We're going to go under 2.5 rounds if you guys want to increase those odds a little bit. Plus 450, it's a beautiful bet, very nice straight bet, and very good odds of hitting, honestly. Now we have the schizophrenia versus autism matchup. Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. Guys, this is going to be nuts. I cannot wait to watch this fight. Honestly, this is probably my most hyped up fight on the card because I just don't know what's going to happen. I can't wait to watch this. I feel like some stupid shit's going to happen. Gene Silva, 93% wins by finish. All of his wins in the UFC come by KO in the first or second round. He's never seen the third round in the UFC. Bryce Mitchell, he's coming off a good win, but the fight right before that, he got brutally knocked out by Josh Emmett, and his last win, he was able to nullify the grappling of Kron Gracie. I mean, Kron doesn't really pose much of a knockout threat, but he was able to nullify the grappling, and he got that slam KO, which was really nice. He has pretty weak stand-up, Bryce Mitchell, but he has very good grappling. He averages 3.3 takedowns per fight, and he has very good cardio, but usually tends to lose the first round. So you guys, we're taking Gene Silva by KO under 1.5 rounds. So my prediction for this fight, this is how it's going to go. Gene Silva is going to feel him out, kind of like what he did with Charles Jourdain, honestly. He's going to feel him out in the first round. He's going to test some stuff out, test some combinations, see where there's openings. And in the second round, right at the beginning, he's going to go for the kill. And I think he's going to knock him out, honestly. Could be a ground and pound finish like we saw in his last fight. Or he could just knock him like what he did with Drew Dober with Charles Jourdain. I think this is going to be a violent fight. It's going to be a fun fight, and I can't wait to see Gene Silva get another classic knockout in the UFC. Sorry, I have to move my camera because these guys' names are just so big. We have Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull, 145. Patricio Pitbull is making his UFC debut. He has 17 title fights in Bellator, and in this fight, he's going to have the grappling advantage. Yair Rodriguez, you guys all know him, the Tekken 8 fighter. He has very dynamic kicks, good cardio, a lot of 5-round fights. He has a big 5-inch reach advantage in this fight, but his fights usually end up turning into brawls. So, I mean, Yair, what can I say about this guy? It doesn't look like, if you follow him on Instagram, it doesn't look like he's training too much. Like, he's in the mountains sometimes, like he's doing random stuff. I don't know how much, like, usually when someone loses the title, like when they make it to the top and then they lose their title, they get pretty discouraged. And it looked like he just quit against Brian Ortega, and losing against Brian Ortega, that's not too much of a good look. I know he was winning in the first round and he was kind of putting it on him, but to lose like that, and I mean, I know Brian's a good grappler, but like, I don't know. It doesn't age well, that loss. And you're fighting a guy like Patricio Pitbull. Patricio's fucking durable. He's a dog, and he's going to want to prove himself in this fight. Patricio does something pretty cool. He blind fires to counter. I mean, it's fun to watch because he just doesn't give a shit about getting hit. He just eats the shot because he knows his shot's going to be more powerful, and he knocks people out by doing that, or at least knocks them down, takes them to the ground, and submits them. So in this fight, look for Yair to throw some crazy stuff, and Patricio Pitbull's going to blind counter and just throw a fucking straight right hand. It's going to be chaos in this fight. Someone's going to die. Yeah, it's going to be nuts. My official prediction is Patricio Pitbull by KO. I think he just wants it more, and I think when they're gonna have those wild exchanges, I believe Patricio has more power. I think he's gonna be able to put Yair away. I think he's gonna get him by KO, and I think if you want to add some odds to that, I mean, plus 240 is already good odds. You could go over 1.5. I think the fight probably goes over 1.5. Probably ends in the second or the third round. The first round, they're probably going to be feeling each other out, going slow. I don't really see a first round finish here, but with Patricio's experience, I do believe he has what it takes to knock Yair Rodriguez out. All right, we have a really fun match here. Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. So when this fight got announced, I was like, what? What is this? The circus? Like, why is Paddy Pimblett fighting Michael Chandler? It's such a weird matchup. And then I was really thinking about it, watching tape. I was like, there's no way that Paddy wins this fight. Like, I don't see how he wins this fight. And then the odds drop, and Michael Chandler's an underdog. It's like, what? Who's betting on Paddy Pimblett? And then I looked at it on paper. Okay, Paddy's younger, 8 years younger. He's on a win streak. Chandler's not. But then you look like, okay, who are they fighting? Paddy's fighting like the ghosts. Like he's fighting the ghost of Tony Ferguson, the ghost of Bobby Green. He's fighting like very low level MMA fighters. He's also like he went to with Jared Gordon went to a decision which he, in my opinion, lost all 3 rounds. Somehow got a unanimous decision win. Like what? What is going on? He has the plot armor, but then you look at Michael Chandler. The guy's fighting like literally the best lightweights in the world. Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje. Even, honestly, Tony Ferguson, when he fought Michael Chandler, was way more dangerous than the Tony Ferguson that fought Paddy Pimblett. Like, Tony won the first round against Chandler. Tony looked amazing until Chandler cracked his chin. And after that, he was really never the same. Chandler's going to look to take Paddy down here, or maybe not. Like, I don't know. Chandler's just a brawler. Honestly, what he's going to really look to do is land a right hand to the body and then left hand counter. Not counter. So he lands that right hand to the body and he comes up with the left hook. That's what he did to knock out Dan Hooker. And if you watch the Jared Gordon fight against Paddy Pimblett, Jared Gordon landed this combination like 3 or 4 times. So if Chandler lands it even just once, I mean, he says Scousers don't get knocked out. The Scouser's going to get knocked out if he does that. So if Paddy wants to win this fight, he's going to have to mind his P's and Q's, stay far away from Chandler. Paddy has really good kicking. Like, his kicks to the legs are beautiful. And Chandler eats those every day. Watch all his fights. He eats those leg kicks all the time. So if Paddy wants to win, he's going to chop those legs. He could get the win. But, guys, I swear to God, Paddy has, like, some of the worst fight IQ I've ever seen in his life. In my life, he shoots for like the worst takedowns ever. He gets countered all the time. And if you shoot for a dumb takedown against Chandler's like the strongest guy in lightweight. He's just gonna fucking pick you up, throw you down, and he's gonna get on top of you. So normally that would be okay because Paddy has so many submissions off his back. But Chandler, if he's gonna be able to pin you down, pin those shoulders down, you will not be able to submit Chandler off your back. Especially so much more stocky. You can't submit a guy like that off your back. If Paddy submits Chandler off his back, I'm going to be extremely surprised. I don't see it happening at all. Overall, like, this is a pretty crazy fight, honestly. And also, yeah, I didn't mention this. Paddy against Tony in round 3. What the fuck was that? The whole fight against Tony, he was just beating the shit out of Tony. I mean, he was getting hit with stuff from Tony. Like, I don't know how Tony was hitting him. Tony was, like, very washed during that fight. But basically the whole fight was just Paddy just popping shots off of Tony's head and laying on the top guard of Tony. How was he gassed in the 3rd round? Gasping for air. The guy couldn't breathe. In my opinion, Paddy just doesn't take his career seriously. He's so out of shape when he's not in a fight camp. Like, Chandler's just way more in shape than him. And this is a 5-round fight. Don't forget. So later on the fight, this is going to heavily favor Chandler. If this fight leaves the 1st round or the 2nd round, Chandler's winning. Chandler's going to win round 4 and 5 for sure because of what I saw from Paddy Pimblett. The guy's cardio's shit. So let's go into my official prediction, and I'm sure you guys could guess what I have. So I'm sure you guys guessed. Chandler, KO decision over 1.5 rounds. So if you take this, it's plus 275. And I don't really see a world where this doesn't hit. Like at plus 275, this is like one of the safest bets on the card. And it's plus 275. KO decision over 1.5. Enough said. I did like the breakdown before was enough. You guys should know that this is a really good bet, honestly. Like generational wealth bet. All right, now the last fight for the UFC Featherweight Championship. Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. I'm so torn up on this fight, man, because I'm massive fans of both of these guys. It seems like I forgot to write some notes for Diego Lopez. I apologize. What I would have wrote there is he's a brawler that gets a lot of knockouts from the clinch. He has fucking nukes in his hands, just knocks everyone out, and he's a great grappler. The thing is about his knockouts, they all come from the clinch. They all come from uppercuts up close. He's going to have to rush in on Volk, which is going to be very hard to do. Volkanovski, he's going to be 6 years older. He's on a 2-fight KO losing streak and a 14-month layoff. Normally, I would be a little bit scared to bet on someone like that. But, I mean, so he's on a 14-month layoff. He definitely needed that. Like he said, he was doing his head in. And he was on a 2-fight KO losing streak. So I definitely think the layoff gave him some time to recover his chin. And if you know this guy, he was working hard the entire time. So he was apparently in this camp for a very long time. The name that he had before was Ilia Topuria. So he was preparing for Ilia, and they switched it about 3 months ago to Diego Lopez. So he's been in camp for like 4 or 5 months now at this point. He looks in phenomenal shape for 36 years old. Phenomenal shape. And honestly, Volk, he's like one of the fastest featherweights on the roster right now, and some of the best distance management in featherweight. I love the way he uses his left inside leg kick, and his jab is beautiful, and his entries are really nice. They're really fast, really clean. If this fight leaves the first round, expect Volkanovski to win this fight. But the only way Diego Lopez wins this fight is if Volk's going to fight with his head back, like last time how he fought Ilia. If Lopez closes the distance and Volk is just not ready for this, he could get clipped. So let's go into my official prediction. We'll talk a little bit more about it. All right, so for my official prediction, we're going with Volk by KO or decision. So why I think this is going to happen is because his distance management, his volume, his cardio, everything altogether, Volk is just such a phenomenal fighter. He's the greatest featherweight of all time. I don't care what you say. Ilia could have passed him, but he left featherweight too early. So right now, Volk is still the featherweight GOAT, in my opinion. Maybe not the best featherweight right now, because in my opinion, that would be Ilia, but Ilia can't make featherweight anymore, so doesn't really exist as a featherweight right now. So if Ilia doesn't exist, it's Volk the best featherweight, for sure. So enough said about that. Why I think he's going to win by KO decision over 3.5 rounds. Lopez's last fight, not his last fight, even the last fight, when the fight leaves the second round, in the third round, Lopez doesn't look too good. And if you're going to look like that against Volk, the third, fourth, fifth round, don't forget, this is a 5-round fight. Volk's going to fucking beat him up for 5 rounds. So if Volk is able to maintain the distance, hurt him a little bit, get him tired in the first 2, oh my God, you're going to see a classic Volk takeover. He's going to cut him up. Like, I put over 3.5 rounds because in the 4th round, I don't know what's going to happen. If Lopez's striking defense is terrible, he gets hit all the time. The only reason why he doesn't get knocked out is because he knocks his opponents out first. But his striking defense is terrible. I don't know. I think Volk's just better. He's just and Lopez is not going to submit him. I mean, Islam had Volk's back and he didn't submit him. Volk was in 2 deep submissions from Brian Ortega, and Brian Ortega didn't submit him. You're absolutely delusional if you think Lopez is going to win this fight. The only way Lopez wins, and if you want to put a little side bet on this, Lopez KO round 1. That's the only way. Because the thing is, we don't know where Volk's chin is at. But I think Volk is he's gonna win that title back, and he's gonna cement his legacy as the featherweight GOAT. So let's go for that. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my predictions. and breakdowns. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and don't be afraid to tell me I'm shit. Don't be afraid to tell me I'm good. If you disagree with me, leave a comment, tell me why. I would love to hear your opinions, and let's keep up the quality videos. I want to bring you guys more content like this. Show me that you like it by leaving a like, and I hope to bring more. And I hope to bring more money to your wallets too. All right, have a good one, guys. Cheers.